Hello there, people of the universe. My name is MichSciFi, and I'm just gonna hurt you really, really bad. Yes, welcome to the next DCEU discussion video. I know there's only one film that I really should be discussing, and to be honest, it's the only one I want to discuss right now, but we gotta wait. I know it's fucking hard. It's harder for me. That's what she said, but we are following the order after BVS, which technically Zack Snyder's Justice League is technically a direct sequel to, but the next one is Suicide Squad. Now, while I do enjoy this film as I'm about to get into, and throughout this video of course, I should just say, I do know that David Ayer's full vision hasn't been realised yet, but in due course. You might have also noticed I'm wearing a t-shirt that matches the mood. So, as we get straight into this film, I should just say, while it is definitely not as high on my list as BVS, or Justice League, or any of the others, it is still a great film, and like every film in the DCEU, so far at least, it has got its good elements. To be fair, in Suicide Squad is one of the best things about it. I love the take. I won't even try and remember the artist's name, but you know what I mean when I say it. The artist who does You Don't Own Me, which would we call Harley's theme? I'm not really sure, but either way, that track, it's such a, I don't know how to describe it. It's such a unique, tangy. If you've heard it, you might know exactly what I mean. If you don't know what I mean and you've got a different way to describe that track, then by all means tell me, but I do love that track. There are some characters that are definitely underutilised, Killer Croc being one of them, although again, these things might be rectified in the Ayer cut, so as I say, please bear with me if that is the case, if it ends up being the case when it comes out. But in terms of those that are given full opportunity to shine and do shine, it's by far Will Smith as Deadshot and Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn. While I do wish Jared Leto, well, again, it's really hard to give this film love, especially, not because it's bad, but it's more because the things that I'm not too fond of, in the Ayer cut, they might be changed. So, as I keep saying, please do bear with me. But, yeah, Will and Margot as Deadshot and Harley, they are both by far the best parts of this film. All the actors are amazing, like Joel Kinnaman, who plays Boomerang, Viola Davis, who plays Amanda Waller, Jared as Joker, Katana, Croc, Diablo, Enchantress, Rick Flag. All of them are brilliant, and speaking of Rick Flag, I can't wait to see him in the next Suicide Squad film. Call it a sequel or not, I'm just going to call it Suicide Squad 2. All of them were definitely brilliant, but as I said, Will and Margaret are definitely, I'd say them two, and then Boomerang and then Flag are probably like the strongest parts of this film. Maybe, I think it's down to personal opinion, but I definitely, I know some people do give Margot Robbie's portrayal a bit of flack because they're like, oh, some people are only fans of Harley because they're fans of Margot Robbie, which I don't think is a really fair thing to say, because it's thanks to Margot Robbie that while Harley Quinn was a popular character anyway, it's thanks to Margot Robbie that she's become more popular on the big screen, on live action, and I really do love that, because before Harley Quinn was just a henchwoman from the animated series who was then in the Arkham games, and then, thank God, got her own comic run, so she was popular, but Margot Robbie's portrayal definitely helped bring her in more, even more so that now she's been on every medium, which is brilliant. I do love the way she plays her. I love the way Will Smith plays Deadshot. I love the whole plot of the film and how his character journey of, in the start, when with his daughter with Batfleck, which I fucking love those scenes with Batfleck, when he gets arrested or when he's hugging, his daughter is hugging him. I was going to say when he's hugging his daughter, but if you notice in that scene, he isn't, she is. He's just there like that, like resting his head on hers, and she says, I love you, but he doesn't say it back, neither does he hug her back. But by the end of the film, he hugs her back because he goes, bring it in. He initiates it. Or we don't know who initiated the first one because it's the way the cut is, but you know what I mean. And then not only that, but he says it back as well, because throughout the film, I know each character goes on their own journey in some way or another, probably more in the Ayer cut. But with Deadshots, the whole journey is he worthy of his daughter's love? Because there's a scene with him and Harley where Harley says to him, have you ever been in love? And he goes, nah. And she goes, bullshit. And he goes, you don't kill as many people as I do and still sleep like a baby if you feel shit like love, which is a funny line. But as well, is it true? Because he clearly, as you see by the end, he loves his daughter. He cares. I mean, one of the reasons why he was going to kill Batman and all that is because he wants to be with his daughter, and that's one of the things that motivates him. It's why when Enchantress, when Croc throws the explosive and he's using Harley's amazing fucking revolver and he's about to shoot it, and then he looks down and the Enchantress's last effort is a hallucination of his daughter, because like, oh, if you do this then we can't be together, underestimating that he is worthy of his daughter's love, and that is what motivates him to stop her. Because there's a brilliant line where Will Smith goes, "Lady, you are evil!" And it's such a funny line. Like, I know some people say that in most of his role, Will Smith plays Will Smith. And while I do see what they're saying in this film, it's not... Well, to be fair, I've never found that thing about his acting unbearable, but if there are examples that are unbearable that I haven't seen, I'm definitely going to say that Suicide Squad isn't. And I really do hope his character is brought back in a future film, because he is brilliant. Already said with Harley, she's absolutely phenomenal. In many ways, Suicide Squad is... It's not her film, that's more Birds of Prey, but it's hard to explain it. But as I said, those two are the main characters in a way, which is not a bad thing, because all the other characters like Diablo, he's got his own story out with his family, and obviously he says, "Oh, I'll die in peace before I raise my hands again." Katana with is it a husband or a father? I think it's her husband, I'm not sure. Forgive me if I'm wrong there. Croc, he's very much not a side character, but... And I don't want to say less important, but less in the forefront. And then Boomerang was caught by the Flash. Slipknot was very much the red shirt guy, although David Ayer has said in his cut of the film, he does get his own backstory. It turns out he's a serial murderer / rapist, and that's why when his head gets blown off very quickly... You're meant to be like, good fucking riddance. He's even said that himself, so I'm fine with that. Amanda Waller, she's brilliant. It was hard for me to warm up to her because I'm used to the version in not Suicide Squad, in Arrow, because obviously that came first. It was really, it's like Grant Gustin and Ezra Miller. It's like new version. It's getting like, nah, I'm not used to it. But I have to say, Viola Davis, she was brilliant. She played Amanda Waller the way Amanda Waller is. She's not inhuman, but there are times where you think, she fucking might be. And so she was brilliant. Who else? Yeah, Rick Flag. He's brilliant. Is Joel Kinnaman Boomerang right? No, Jai Courtney's Boomerang, you idiot, because of Terminator. Sorry. Joel Kinnaman's... Oh, I'm going to feel so stupid watching this back now. You probably knew what I meant. Yeah, Rick... Boomerang, brilliant. And then Jared Leto, while in the versions that we've seen, he's very much cut down. I know that, because I like him regardless of how little we saw of him. I'm excited for how much more he's in the Ayer cut, but he's brilliant. There are many people who criticise saying, oh, he's weird, he's creepy. But then again, isn't that what the Joker is? I know there are a few scenes what are uncomfortable in the wrong way, like in the sense of that's uncomfortable because the Joker wouldn't do that. But then again, a lot of people, and I can respect this, but I don't agree with it, a lot of people's problem with his portrayal is that it's not Heath Ledger, which rest his soul, but it isn't really fair to compare in that way, because like you're comparing a dead man, but also as well you're comparing a very different version of the character. Heath Ledger's Joker is phenomenal, like Christian Bale's Batman, but they're not Batman and Joker in the Dark Knight film. It's more, not that they aren't great as those characters. No, they are. I'm not saying they are brilliant. But in many ways, they're more playing physical incarnates of good and evil kind of thing. Whereas for me, with Jared Leto and Ben Affleck, it's more Batman and Joker. But again, the Dark Knight is brilliant, and they are both brilliant. But it's one of those things where you really shouldn't compare. It's not really a fair thing to do. You should judge it by what the character is in your head, what the character is in the comics, and how Jared did. Which, with all that in mind, I think he did brilliant. I want to see more. I hope we see more. He wanted to put his stamp on it and really fucking give it his all, which I can't knock. But yeah, brilliant film, severely underrated, and the only problems it's got are that we haven't seen the full version, in the sense of the problems that are there, I know aren't there in Ayer's cut. So it's one of those things where let's see it and then find out, because while the biggest criticism I can give it is that Joker should have been the main villain, not Enchantress, I don't mind that they didn't have Jokers. Like, he wanted to try something different, didn't work as well as it probably could have, but I still do like Enchantress. When the heroes are bad guys, can you really have a good villain when you could argue Harley and Deadshot are the best villains, but they're meant to be the hit? It's one of those things where it is still a good film, it's severely underrated and does deserve more love, and more importantly, does deserve the Ayer cut. So, as I wrap up, my favourite scene in this, and I'm not going to say the Batfleck cameos because that's not fair, my favourite scene is definitely either the shot of them all walking together after Rick smashes the thing. Oh, no, change that. It's that scene, but I'm going to go from when Deadshot finds out about his daughter's letters and he says, I'm going to get you there. I'll carry your ass if I have to, because this shit is going to be like a chapter in the Bible, and my daughter is going to know that her daddy is not a piece of shit. Then it goes to the shot of all of them walking together. Boomerang didn't abandon them. He just went to get a beer. It's such an... It's not DOJ Trinity shot, but it is a beautiful shot. And then... If I can have another moment, I say it's tied between these two, so I can't really pick. So it's a tie. It's either that moment or... No, it is that moment. I was going to say the other one that was... the second best moment, if I can have a second best, of course I can, is when they're all fighting the enchant... Well, you could say they were losing, but they still get a shot. My point is, underrated film, deserves more love. More importantly, though, deserves the Ayer cut. So, hashtag release the Ayer cut. So, yeah. I'm going to wrap this up. I'm surprised I rambled as long as I did. I'll probably cut it down. But either way, what do you guys think of Suicide Squad? Have you seen it? If you have seen the theatrical cut, like BVS, I do recommend the extended cut. But to be honest, it isn't that much longer. All it really does is flesh out Joker and Harley a little bit more. But it's annoying because Ayer's cut would have fleshed out them a lot more, but also the others. And it's one of those things. But either way, I do love Suicide Squad. And yeah, I do recommend it. So thank you guys for watching. Wonder Woman up next. So I'll see you soon. Bye.
I'm a living legend. You ain't heard yet, you not get the message. From the moment that I'm stepping in, I get a couple weapons. Yeah, I turn to a beast when I'm rapping. I'm a living legend.